Welcome back to another episode of the Him Report. My name is Raphael Him. Today is 9 November 2015, and welcome to the show. I'm going to open up the podcast tonight with outstanding news. Outstanding news for those of us that support the rule of law, that support the American worker. An appeals court has blocked President Obama's immigration policies. What great news for the American worker. A federal appeals court has rejected President Barack Obama's effort to move forward with a series of executive actions that he announced last year. He was trying to give quasi-legal status and work permits to millions of illegal aliens. This gives American workers and those that are here legally a chance to compete. So we're not flooding the workforce with cheap labor. Now our workers can compete and earn higher wages. Isn't that what everybody's seeking? A higher paying job, the ability to support your family, to live the American dream. But our politicians ruin this dream. They flood the marketplace with cheap labor trying to help their buddies out. We just saw this happen at Disney, where American workers were forced to train their foreign national replacements. Imagine how humiliating that is, that your company forces you to train your replacement with the threat that you're not going to get the severance package if you don't train your replacement. Where are our elected officials? Yeah, I'll put the blame on Disney, but I also put the blame on our elected officials because they're not looking out for American citizens or American residents or American jobs. Yes, the 2-1 ruling from the New Orleans Fifth Circuit is a defeat for the Obama administration and the liberals, and a huge victory for those of us that support the rule of law. But we must remember that this is only one battle and that this war wages on, and these guys don't give up until they get their way. The release of the Fifth Circuit decision on Monday appears to allow the Supreme Court enough time to take this dispute up this term if they choose to. So just keep that in the back of your mind. I'm sure most of you guys have already read or saw that the president of the University of Missouri has resigned, with the football team and others on campus in an open revolt over what they saw as an indifference to racial tensions at the school. You know, I'm going to tell you the truth. I haven't really followed this story too much, but I did read an article here on Fox News that was showing some of the groups, the Concerned Student 1950, the guys leading the revolt, some of their demands. And I'm going to go over a few of them. Here's the first demand. We demand that the University of Missouri system president, Tim Wolf, write a handwritten apology to the Concerned Student 1950 demonstrators and holds a press conference in the Mizzou Student Center reading the letter. In the letter and at the press conference, Tim Wolf must acknowledge his white male privilege, recognize that the system of oppression exists, and provide a verbal commitment to fulfilling Concerned Student 1950 demands. Here's the second demand. We demand the immediate removal of Tim Wolf as UM system president. After his removal, a new amendment to the UM system policies must establish to have a full future UM system president and chancellor positions to be selected by a collective of students, staff, and faculty of diverse backgrounds. That one's not too bad. But they want the guy to admit fault and then resign. That's kind of funny. It says, third demand, we demand that the University of Missouri meet the Legion of Black Collegians demand that were presented in 1969 for the betterment of the black community. That's acceptable. But they should do that for all races, not just one race. We demand that the University of Missouri create and enforce a comprehensive racial awareness and inclusion curriculum throughout the campus and department units, mandatory for all students, faculty, staff, and administration. The curriculum must be vetted, maintained, and overseen by a board comprised of students, staff, and faculty of color. I like it, but it shouldn't just be a faculty of people of color. It should be inclusive, all races. We demand that the academic year 2017-2018, the University of Missouri increases their percentage of black faculty and staff campus-wide to 10%. Well, can't really talk to that one. I don't know the percentage of who they have, but if they have qualified applicants and they have positions open, then go ahead and fill them with the most qualified individual. Demand number 6, not too bad. I think I can agree with most of it. It says, we demand that the University of Missouri composes a strategic 10-year plan by May 1st, 2016 that will increase retention rates for marginalized students, sustain diversity curriculum and training, and promote a more safe and inclusive campus. That's acceptable. That's a legitimate demand. It says, going on to number 7, we demand that the University of Missouri increase its funding and resources for the University of Missouri Counseling Center for the purposes of hiring additional mental health professionals, particularly those of color. Again, I hate that I think it's kind of racist to say particularly those of color. I mean, isn't that what they're fighting against, is racism? So don't do reverse racism. Boosting mental health outreach and programming across the campus, increasing campus-wide awareness and visibility of the counseling center, and reducing lengthy wait times for prospective student clients. I agree. I mean, people need mental health, and if they're willing to pay more for tuition, then that's fine. But again, be inclusive of all races, not just people of, I mean, everybody's of color. I don't really know what they're talking about. And here's number 8. We demand that the University of Missouri increase its funding, resources, and personnel for the social justice centers on campus for the purpose of hiring. First, social justice. What does that even mean? I have no idea what this is what they're doing right now, and they got this guy fired. It says, going back, the purpose of hiring additional professionals, particularly those of color. Again, don't like that term. Boosting outreach and program across campus and increasing campus-wide awareness and visibility. Okay, they got some valid demands here, but most of them, I mean, are, in my opinion, kind of a little bit racist, because you want to just be for a particular race, for people of color. I mean, again, I'm Hispanic, but am I white, brown? I don't know. What does it really matter? It should be inclusive to all people. So let's not go back to those days. And I mean, it seems like this whole social justice thing is like a disease eating the whole country. We're becoming very divided, and I know we have to follow the money where this is coming from, and that's we're gonna figure out. It could be George Soros, who knows? But this is something these guys are getting paid to do this, and this is going around the whole country, eating us up little by little, and destroying us and dividing us. We need to be a united country, no matter what color or race you are. We're all Americans, and we need to live that way. Give me your opinion at thehimreport.com. I'm Raphael Helm, signing out. Visit thehimreport.com for more news and updates.